Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another session of Let's Talk About It. I am joined with Dotun today, and I would say that we actually have to commend him for coming in because this is how special of a guest he is. He has driven all the way down here from Cambridge, got stuck in traffic, but we thank God he is here. So we do apologize for being late, but obviously we just want to thank God for this special person that I have by my left hand side, and I guarantee that you are going to bless the people with the word. Right?
Amen. Amen.
Amen. We'll see about that. But yeah, so we have a couple things that we want to run through. Obviously, first and foremost, please, 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 could you share the broadcast? Tell a friend to tell a friend to join in. It's literally 25 minutes of your time. Get involved, join for the vibes. Me and Dotun
Comment.
are really going to get into it. Comment, just literally just have your say. Have your say. Say something, share your experience. You never know whose life you'll be touching out there, and also just teaching someone else something. And you yourself, you can probably learn a thing or two from us. Now, I always tend to get carried away with this, so I'm gonna start off by allowing Dotun to introduce himself. So yeah, take it away. Just let them know who you are.
Okay, my name is Dotun Amosu. I'm 28 years old and I work in the construction industry. Currently, my title is a civil works engineer. I don't know what more to tell you guys.
A civil work,
Is on
a
I'm
civil works engineer.
So essentially, doing foundations, piling, earthworks, capping beams, column slabs, stuff like that.
Okay. All right. Well, moving from that,
Mhm.
obviously, so you're talking about what did you say that you do again? So the slabbing, the kinika, the laying of foundations,
Okay.
and what else?
So piling liner walls,
Okay.
columns, what makes this building stay up. So the
Okay.
skeleton, essentially, the skeleton of the
Of a
building.
building is what you're.
I mean, what's my main job?
Okay, great. Perfect. Now, as you can imagine, why I've obviously brought him here, because he definitely has a way in which he knows all about foundations. Now, the topic of today would be the importance of setting foundations, obviously, how you can do it. That will be in different areas and aspects of your life. So we can cover a range from businesses and careers, we can cover relationships, and also your faith and your walk in Christ. Um, so my first question to you, and feel free to ping pong questions.
No worries. No
I
worries.
already trust you. I know that
No
you're going to try and
worries.
put me on the spot,
Let me get
but
into it.
I am the host, so I
Okay.
will obviously.
No worries.
I'll take
I have
the
a
lead
nature
with
of
it.
taking over. Don't worry.
Okay, that's fine. So my first question to you is: what is the importance of laying like a steadfast foundation in your role in construction?
Okay. In construction, first of all, the main thing is design. Okay. Ensuring that the design is correct, depending on the load that you're gonna put in the building. If it's a live load, dead load, from level 1, level 2, level 3 to the roof, what you need to know all the loads you're gonna put on the building, so that there's no design failure or there's no failure in the foundation. But then again, in construction, we do have factors of safety to ensure that whatever, in case someone does something stupid or someone does something wrong later on, or they load a section too much, that there's a safety factor there that can take it in advance.
Okay. So at every stage of you doing what you're doing, there are different variables and factors that you have to consider.
Yes,
So anything from laying too much, what's it called, slab?
the concrete.
Con-
Okay, like so, concrete reached its full strength at 28 days. So you're not allowed to load it until it's 28 days.
Okay.
You cannot fully load the slab until it's 28 days strength. But
Okay.
again, sometimes the mixed design, you have to check with concrete cubes.
Okay.
So we'll take it to the lab. They'll crush it with. I have an external company that does it for us. We'll take it to
Okay.
the lab. We crush the cube. We see what the strength is.
Yeah.
If it's too low, then we'll have to wait a few more days, or we'll check again with the batching plant. What was wrong with that mix?
Yeah.
So again, there's loads of different reviews and checks in place to ensure that the slabs and what we pour are safe
Okay.
and within the design criteria as well.
Fine. Okay. Guys, there's a reason why I'm making him go into detail about this. Don't think that is a construction lesson. Like, I have a reason as to why we're going into detail about this. But yeah, okay, cool. So the fact that there's periods for certain things to be done in order for a foundation to be created, I feel like this relates to a lot of things in life.
Yes, it does.
So one of the biggest things I want to cover, because not every day to talk about relationships, but we're still going to talk about relationships because I feel like I want to talk about relationships and no one's going to check me about it. So that's what we're going to do. One of the big things is, like, let's say businesses or careers. Okay. So let's say you want to start a business. If you just go on your merry way and think, I'm just going to start a business, there's no foundation, I don't really have a business plan, I'm just winging it, without considering like the risk. Like you said, let's say someone does something stupid, you need to make sure that there are other things in place, right? So not saying that, you doing a business venture without a business plan is stupid, but it is very risky. So let's say someone goes off and does certain things like that and there's no business plan, there's no foundation, you don't really know, you haven't thought through every aspect of the variables like we're talking about. What's the likelihood of that business having such a stronghold or like a skeleton? So like a building skeleton. Like if all else within, like the interior and everything, like how nice the business looks and how everything is set and like what's the aesthetic of a business,
the facade
collapses good. What's the likelihood of you having that skeleton that still your business is going to stand firm? Like, we just came out of a panoramic. Like, the whole pandemic just came out. I said panoramic for a reason, guys. I'm not illiterate. But, like, literally, we just came out of that. And there are a lot of businesses that have failed. Like not saying that, they went in without having a strong foundation, because regardless, that was a time in our lives that no one had seen before, really. But that's just the importance of setting a concrete foundation in anything that you do, in your business, in your work, even in your career, in everything. But if a business does not create that foundation before going forth, Dotun, your opinion, how would it work?
It's set to fail.
It's set to fail.
Yeah. Again, all I know is construction, so I was talking construction terms. So, before we start anything, we plan your business from the start to the finish. Okay, what are the different stages you're gonna have in the business? Okay, we have a process where we review at each stage in construction. We review the design, we review the planning, review the money. We have like point 20, point 50, point 80. When we review the financial aspect, the financial strength of the project. Are we making money? Are we losing money? So those type of things you have to factor in your business. In business, there's some kind of SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
I have to look. I said, I know that one.
You need to look. You need to look at all of those factors. And then from your business, you can understand what risks are you gonna have. Is there demand for what you wanna supply? Is there demand for it? Because going into a business, you're gonna do something that the market's saturated. There's no point. Unless you can find out your own niche, you can add to it. What can you make it different? Okay, I have friends that do businesses. They carve out their own niche to make sure that their business stands out. They do something different
that
with
USP, the unique selling point.
There you go. Sorry. So that's
just giving you guys a quick disclaimer, because I've had to deal with this. Dotun is just gonna break out in another language at any given point. I don't think he even knows when he's doing it. It just happens.
It's just part of my speech.
But it brings the vibe. It actually brings, if you understand it, it's sweet. It's a sweet vibe. But if you don't, Bella, sorry, you're not going to get it. However, I will try my best to translate. I'll try my best.
If I speak Congo, what do you do? No, but again, with businesses, with relationships, in your career, again, you also have to plan it out. Everything's down to planning. One of my, my philosophies or quotes is life is by design. Okay, for me to be able to be sleeping on Saturday morning without worrying about someone's calling me for money, someone's calling me for this, I designed it that way. That I don't want to have that stress. So in your business as well, it's the same thing. You have to design, okay, if this happens, what have you put in place for this to happen? If this happens, what have you put in place for this to happen? Again, reading books, like in construction, we have specifications we follow. In business, there's people that have written books on business. That's your specification. If there's some query, you can always Google it and find out, or ask another colleague that knows about it. We know specification. If something's not clear, we create an RFI, a request for information, to the client. We ask them, okay, what are you asking for here? We don't understand it, so we don't build it wrong, and then we incur the costs. But if it's a design that they made wrong, then they're like, okay, we'll pay you guys more money for it. So in your business, the same thing as well. Understand point A, B, C, D. Understand every aspect of it. It's your life. You're going taking the risk with it.
Yeah.
So there's no point being willy nilly or I'll just wing it. No, that's money. That is money. In construction, money goes like that. When you calculate the man hours, the hours of materials, everything to do one simple task, you're looking at £10,000. Sometimes I'm still shocked when I'm like, just how much things cost. And the construction costs are high. Try and do a little extension to your house. You see how much it's going to cost. Tiling alone, or even the concrete, the block works, everything, it costs a lot of money.
And this cost of living crisis
this
as
cost
well.
of living crisis. Inflation's going through the roof.
Yeah.
I have some contractors asking me for more money, saying, listen, the way we price this thing, it won't work. Inflation has gone through the roof. Steel has gone through the roof. We're not doing it. Again, in your career, it's the same thing. Okay, like, okay, now my next stage in my career, what do I want to do? Okay, I'm looking, okay, do I need to do this course or do I need to do this? What's the foundation I need to lay personally as well? Is it I need to do an external course or do I need to do more training internally? Or what actions do I need to take myself? So again, in relationships, again, depends on what do you want to get out of the relationships you go into. You just say, okay, we'll see how it goes. No. What is year one? What's your marker? Year two? What's your marker? And then you two can both decide, okay, it's not going to work. It's going to work. Again, it's all about how you design things, how you plan things, again. And the factor of safety you put in things. Because you don't want you want to start something that is set to fail. Again, I know you can't design everything and you cannot account for everything. But the measures you put in place need to be enough that when something happens, you have something to stand on.
Exactly.
Because for us now, let's say we load the building, point load the building, and it's like, oh, it's too much. But we're like, the surrounding area, we know that it will hold.
Yeah.
It's not going to fail. The surrounding area will hold that area. That's how we kind of design things in construction.
That's deep. That's something. I feel like it's just a simple fact that you can actually link that construction part to different aspects and points in life and whatnot. And I'm not saying that, if you want to go and start off a business, that you literally have to have everything together and that, people like deliberately plan to set out and fail. That's not necessarily the case, but in most cases, it's just plan for a rainy day, plan for the what ifs, plan for the variables, plan for the worst. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, plan for everything. So when it happens, it's not like, I never thought about this, or I didn't think this through. I don't know how I'm gonna manage or tackle it.
Like, even in your personal life, it's the same thing. Okay, you're making money now. Okay, put a few K aside. Put £5,000 or £6,000 aside. Just forget about that money exists. And then live your life like that. In case something happens, okay, you have that money. Instead of you rushing around looking for something. For me, most of it is planning. Even your expenditure, your finances. Not that you be negative in the bank account later. You're like, what happened? No.
True.
If you know how much is coming in, how much is going out, I have a tracker I follow. Okay. In and out.
Fine. I've always said, and I feel like this is something that Pastor installed it from us, and even like your parents as well. Well, like from young, they always say like it's something like just don't live paycheck to paycheck. I feel like that's child. Like
me.
that's one thing that I've always said. I want to always be able to have something for a rainy day, and I feel like that would just stick with me forever. In all honesty, and that's a foundation that can be classified as a foundation of just me having like a financial freedom one day, whereby like there's always that thought of putting money aside every month. There's like a chunk is going away, or I didn't even think that we're going to talk about finances today in all honesty.
No,
however, it does link
everything.
It plays into everything. Like if we now move on to, let's say you spoke about faith. No, you didn't speak about faith, you spoke about relationships. So with relationships now, setting a foundation, what does setting a foundation in a relationship look like for you? You don't need to link it back to construction, but I'm just saying in terms of like when you talk about laying a foundation in a relationship, what does that look and sound like in Dotun design?
Doesn't design.
In Dotun's design. I think that might be a hashtag. Dotun's
Mm-hmm. No,
design. Let's
but
go.
in terms of in a relationship,
Mhm.
again, there are different variables you
Yeah.
have to consider. The person, let's say I'm getting into a relationship with, I need to
Mhm.
understand what are their goals,
Mm-hmm.
how driven are they,
Yep.
and then in the way, how do we complement each other?
Yeah.
Okay, are we going along? Are we on the same path? Okay, do we have the same value structure? Do we have the
Yeah.
same goal mentality? Okay. Also, even it's it's some. I won't say it's innate, but again, the way I've okay, I'll explain how I've planned my family to be. Okay, I'm not gonna be.
Oh, your family to be. Okay.
I'm
Let's
not gonna be.
go.
I'm a bit of a traditionalist, but I'm not fully traditional. Anyway,
Mhm.
so it'll be kind of a balancing act between. I'm be saying, okay, you do all of this, I do no. It's we complement each other. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses?
Yeah.
Understanding. For what I've seen with my parents and like my dad, there's certain things he does. My mother doesn't have to think about it.
Yeah.
And there's certain things she call him, do this for me straight away. It's
Yeah,
done
it's done.
by the time she
Yeah.
comes home. So for me, it's the same thing. Like understanding your partner, understanding how what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, how you complement that,
Yeah.
so that way you guys will not. And then you design your life in year one. What do you want to achieve? Where are we going? Where do we see ourselves? Is it just going to be 1 year, 2 year? Where do we go? Plan. Okay, when you want to get your house? When you want to do this? You just throw out ideas like that early on to see what type of stage that person is thinking as well in your career. What do you want to do? How can I help you with your in your career? Is it a master's you need to do? Is it a course you need to do? Is it a training? You need to do? So stuff like that. You need to look at everything on the table first. Understand what's the current situation of this person.
Okay.
Again, finances come into play. There's no joke about
Finances
it.
is something I
Come
feel
into
like
play.
is always a
It will come into play.
yeah, no, it has to come into play, but I feel like it is one of those delicate topics that people
But it takes time.
don't like talking about.
I'm not going to debate. It takes time. You have to be
How long does
easy
it
with
take?
it. No, first of all, you know,
Okay.
you know what you know the job I do. You can easily Google, okay, what's the average salary for a civil works engineer
Okay.
in the UK? You know how much I make. There you go.
Okay.
I don't need to ask you, okay, how much is coming in? You know how much I make.
Yeah.
How much bonuses and benefits have increased since then? That was a different story.
Okay,
That's a
fine.
different story.
Yeah.
Okay, but again, you'll also know by how the person carries themselves. Are they tight with money? Are they do something that they're struggling? Some people can fake it. I'm not going to debate that. Some people can fake it. Credit card here to the max. I know that, but again, at some point something will show that okay, why can't you do this thing? Even from me, you was like, why can't you do this thing? What's going on? You just got paid this week. I'm not saying know the person's finances, but I'm just saying what's going on. You understand the person. You have to read people again. It's all about reading people. Everywhere you go, someone's reading. Not intentionally, subconsciously, they are reading you, understanding how you are. So again, not saying, "Oh, I didn't understand. I didn't know this about my partner." That's a lie. It was there. It's just you didn't see it.
Well, you saw it.
You saw it. You ignored it.
Exactly.
Don't ignore things. Trust me. It will come back. It will come back. It will come back. It always comes back.
No, I hear it. I think one thing that you said is you'll probably be able to see in certain aspects. I don't know if that's true. Especially when it comes to certain generations. I feel like we've had this conversation.
No.
Like, literally, people will do guy in front of other people.
Yeah.
And then behind closed doors is Indomie. But, like, literally, there's nothing wrong with Indomie because I actually bang Indomie too. But what I'm trying to say is, like, in a sense of you can't just kind of, like, see how people's, like, you can't judge someone's finances by their lifestyle. Some people have it, some people don't. Some people make, some people fake. And that's just really
again,
what it is.
It's also over time. You will notice
It is,
over
okay.
time.
I hear
There's a period you can fake it to until you hit a block. You will hit a block at some point and say, okay, I can't do anymore.
Yeah.
If it's £1 you have and you have £10 debt against it, there's certain limitations on things you can do.
It's true.
You're too highly geared. You cannot do anything. Okay, you want to pay for this dinner or this movie, or you want to do something for school or something for your career, and you're like, no, I can't do it this month. No, next month. I'll look at it next month. Those are tell signs that okay, there's something there.
So then, what would your advice for setting a foundation when it comes to finances be for people? Not even just for people like that. but for people in
You
general.
know, again, I'm not a financial expert here. Okay, I am not
So
financial.
okay, not
I'm
advice. Let's just say opinions. Because I've
opinions,
stated
opinions.
mine,
Yeah,
but for your
opinions. For
own.
me, it's understand your finances with you and your partner or
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Understand your finances, and I mean list out. Go to your bank statement. List out every single expenditure that you have. That you know, okay, this is what comes in. HSBC apps now they do it that okay. All my direct debits every end of the month, they list them all out for me,
Yeah.
saying this is all coming out.
Yep.
You're gonna be entering negative here. I'm like, okay, I need to counter that. What do
Yeah,
I need to remove,
exactly.
or what do I
It's
need to
true.
control?
It's very true.
So list it out, know where you're going. There's a kind of financial score, financial strength,
Yeah.
which the app does for me. So okay, fine, how much can you do? Or even your
Yeah.
credit score as well tells you, okay, how much can you borrow? How are you doing financially? Because there's no point saying, oh no, everything will be okay. Because once you walk out that door, you're
That's
spending
it.
money. Sometimes I don't
Yeah.
leave my house because I'm like, I walk out that door, £100 gonna leave my
Just
pocket.
like
Like
that.
that.
Like that. You know what? Yeah. When I think of like how fast £100 can go now,
Doesn't go much. It does not
it
go
doesn't
much.
go far. I can
Nah.
leave. Let me tell you, yeah.
Trust me.
Yesterday, this is a real thing. Yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
I literally decided, I'm trying to do this healthy eating stuff.
Yeah.
I decided, okay, you know what, let me just quickly go to Tesco's and buy a couple snacks and stuff for like breakfast, because I'm working from home. Like, let me just go and do a quick shop, like some healthy snacks, some breakfast stuff, and let's go.
Mm-hmm.
When I got to the checkout, guys, when I got to the checkout, £46.
What did you buy?
No, let me land. £46. That's what it came, and all the things that I bought fit in one bag. One bag, one Dege Tesco bag.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, God, have mercy, because it all fit in one bag, and it's just like, so what did I actually spend £46 on? Because
By the time you put it in your fridge, it all disappears.
Berry, like literally it took me less than a minute to clear, like to actually
Unpack
unpack the stuff, and I thought £46. And I remember telling a friend this week, like, do you know how mad it is that nowadays in this country, in this UK,
UK.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to go and buy chicken, like raw chicken to make later on, yeah, if you want to buy chicken from like a supermarket, they have a normal chicken, they'll be like £3 or £4. Then they'll have corn-fed chicken. That's like
organic.
Organic.
That's
now
now.
£8 to £10. So just so that I'm not eating the preservatives and the hormones that you've injected in that chicken, you're making me pay more than double.
Everything organic is always more expensive.
But it's
always more expensive.
So you're making me pay more for what you people should be doing already.
But no. You have to understand it's the processes.
But
okay?
Do you know, like,
in order to feed?
I'm sorry, yeah?
Okay, the population. No. Let's go into population here. Okay.
This is going.
Let's go
off
into.
topic.
We'll go back quickly. Let's go into population here. Understand this, right? Do you know how many chicken shops in this country there is?
Sure.
Do you know how many people eat KFC, Five Guys, all of these shops? Do you know the population of this country or the world? We're saying even they say Nigeria by 2050 will surpass America. Doing things the natural way, the natural processes will take too long. Would take too long to feed. Some people will starve more than they're starving now. I'm not saying everyone eat organic or everyone don't eat non-organic food here, but I'm just saying, looking at the population of the world and how process it takes to make original natural food, it's too long. People will starve. So, but again, you have to pay more for that process. Pay more for the process.
This is a business-like mind and
I am sorry.
financial guru type of mindset that this guy's coming from, but it's alright. We forgive you. Either way, in my head, I feel like it's just like
I know.
I just feel like it's so mad that I don't have to pay double or triple the price of something just so that I'm not digesting silly hormones and stuff.
But chicken tastes different. It is different.
What, corn-fed?
Corn-fed, there's a difference.
Listen.
Yeah, don't trust me.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is a difference.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Either way, like, I don't know how we got to this because now I don't know where we were before.
No, we can always. Go
But what
back.
I would say for those who are watching, please do let us know where you're watching from.
Mm-hmm.
Comment in the section if you have like something that you want to input when it comes to, you know, foundations, when it comes to businesses, relationships, careers, and everything else. I can't believe how time is flying, but
That's what I'm
yeah, it's 20 to 8. So yeah,
Okay,
time is proper flying. But one of the other things we wanted to cover quickly is obviously foundation when it comes to faith, which is a big
Okay.
one because it's very easy in this day and age where not a lot of people can honestly hand on heart put their like say that they are for Christ and that
Okay.
they're born again and you know that they follow the ways of, you know, Christ and not the ways of the world. Setting a foundation in your walk with Christ is also extremely important, I would say. Sometimes it doesn't really go the way in which you also intend to because some people kind of just walk into Christ by just randomly having an encounter.
Okay.
Some people walk into Christ, you know, they've been thinking about it and there's been this, you know, they've been feeling conviction in their minds for the longest. Some people have just been in it from birth. Like there's different ways in which, but when I mean like setting a foundation in, you know, your faith, I also think of the importance of it, how you prioritize it,
Okay.
your way of communicating with God and how you decide you want to, you know, communicate or how you decide you want to do work for his kingdom and just little things like that. Like, I'm going to read a chapter of the Bible because I
Okay.
feel like this kind of like relates.
Okay.
So yeah, bear with me, guys. But yeah, as I am reading, definitely feel free to just let us know who's watching, where you're watching from. Comment your views and your opinions on this. But obviously, Matthew 7, verse 22, 24. From there, I'm gonna read from the Good News Bible.
Okay.
The two house builders, and I'm gonna literally So then, anyone who hears these words of mine and obeys them is like a wise man who built his house on rock. The rain poured down and the rivers overflowed and the wind blew hard against the house, but it did not fall because it was built on rock. But anyone who hears these words of mine and does not obey them is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain poured down, the rivers overflowed, and the wind blew hard against the house and it fell. And what a terrible fall that was. Now, there are different ways that anyone can interpret that passage from the Bible. Now, how I see it is it can also be a literal, like even God has said, the foundation in which you build a house, when strong, like literally when wind comes, when turbulence comes, when all these different challenges and things come, the way that your foundation is built is going to be the deciding factor of whether that house moves, whether it rocks, whether it shakes, whether it stands firm. Now, if you want to do things the easy way and, you know, I'm just going to build my house on sand care. Sand what? Do you know what I mean? Like, you build it on sand and it's not going to take
So wash away erosion.
It washes away.
Yeah,
Do you know
erosion.
what I mean?
That's the thing.
When I was watching, I don't think I was even watching this show. Like it was just in passing. I think I was doing something at my friend's house and like it came up and it was a part of the UK where like there were houses that were built like on, literally like on a seaside, but like on like a, it's not even like a cliff, but it's something. And as time has gone on, that little part has been, you know, coming down and eroding and all sorts. And one house has just randomly in the middle of the night when it's raining, it just collapsed like that. They've had to, you know, come and save it and pull like the owner with a chicken out of this place or a dog or something out. Okay, countryside, whatever, I hear it, cool. But there was a woman who literally said that she just invested, like she literally just bought that property, thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds in less than 2 years ago, and obviously the government was like, or the council should I say, of that place was like, yeah, you bro, like you guys need to knock that place down. Care for your investment and your project. Like it's not on solid ground. At any point, this house can just collapse and give way, whether you're in it or not. Like it does not care. Like it will take you out. And it's just like, why did people? Obviously, at the time it looks nice. Like you got a house like this on the seaside, and whatnot, but what's it? I didn't even study like geography, anything past what is it? Is it even geography that you study when they tell you about all these?
Yeah,
It
meanders
is,
and
yeah.
erosions and
I
waterfalls and
didn't
stuff
study
like
it
that.
past GCSE, but I know that there's certain places that after some time it's gonna wear and wither away. It's just the way of like the world, earth, living things,
Mm.
all of those things. And I just thought, but common sense isn't that common. And and like that no, but in all honesty, it's about foundations. You know
Yeah,
what I'm trying to say? Like literally in every single thing, you need to think about the foundation that you're setting, that you're building, whether it's you, your family, your house, your career, whatever you decide to invest in, your business, your marriage, everything like that is like
depending on the foundation you have, depends on how high the
how
structure can go.
exactly and how successful it can and how
Be
strong it can stand
yeah.
in any given moment. But yeah, that's just one thing that I thought, we can talk about and we can share. I mean, obviously, coming from a
Well,
construction
no, but again, the
background.
issue is not everyone's aware of how to build a solid foundation.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Some people don't know how to do it,
Yeah.
and they're just like, okay, maybe this will work or maybe that will not work.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need to take a step back in order to go forward. You're like, okay, again, nothing in this world is new. Nothing in this
Yeah.
world that hasn't been done before.
Mm-hmm.
I am sure if you Google, everyone has Facebook or has you Google to use
Yeah.
Google something. Okay, how do you do this?
Yeah.
You see books on this, on how you do that, or even in the Bible. If you read the Bible very well, there's certain passages you Google the Bible. So, okay, what does the
Yeah.
Bible say about this
What
topic?
does the
What does the
Bible
Bible say about this
exactly?
topic?
Yeah.
And you will find it there. You can link it to something else, and then go on.
Yeah.
It's also building the right foundation is key. The core of your essence. Like we said in faith. So let's say in groups, there's a book I'm looking into reading about how the groups of people you surround yourself with as well, they can either make you or they will break you.
Yeah.
Or they can either encourage you or they'll just how will I say it, demotivate you. So
Yeah.
in terms of faith, it's also about the people you surround yourself with. Okay, at work, at church, the way you carry yourself, the way you carry yourself outside in the world and society, that will help you as well. So also knowing where to go and where not to go.
Yeah.
Okay, because don't think okay I can go anywhere. Knowing where to go and where not to go, and what you listen to as well, because a lot of things what you listen to also helps,
Conscious.
or
It takes
it
it in.
sips in slowly,
Yeah.
slowly, slowly over time.
Yeah.
Again, not everybody has a strong mind or strong level of faith. That's something we have to build on.
Yep.
You have to build on that because for me, there's a lot of things I avoid a lot of things. There's a lot of things I avoid. I know like if I do this, this will happen. If I
Yeah.
do this, this will happen. So I just avoid. I know that there's no point. Let me just avoid it to keep myself on the path. Let me just avoid it because I know if I go into it, it's not going to end well for me. So I just avoid it. You also have to know what's your risk factor. Conduct a risk assessment yourself on your own faith to understand. Okay, if I do this, what will happen? What's the outcome of this? That if I do this, what's the outcome of it? Can I take on this risk? Is my faith strong enough to take on this risk? There is no point risking if you know you're not strong enough. Like we do in projects, we also do risk assessment. If we do this, can this building or can this facade or can this wall take on this load? The same thing, you have to risk assess your faith. Can my faith take, and then once you've risk assessed your faith, now you need to understand, okay, what are the steps and actions I can take to show up those areas? What are the risks? Is it the music you listen to? Is it the friends you're with? Is it again different aspects? Each person knows their own. Each person knows. If you don't lie to yourself, you know what are the risks you can't take. You know what risks you can take. You know what influences happen. I'll give you an example with my parents. Now, if I start acting a certain way, the first thing my parents say, "Who are you hanging out with?" That's the first thing. They're like, "Who are you hanging out with?" Because they're like, "We know your nature. We know you can't. This is
Yeah.
not a risk you can take.
Yeah.
This is not something you would do on
Yeah.
your own. You need someone to push you to
To
do
do
this.
that. Yeah.
Normally, you wouldn't do this. You're like, okay, who are you hanging out with? And I have to say, nah, this is not somebody.
Yeah. This
But
is.
then again,
Yeah.
they also know. So it's who you associate with.
That's a very.
Again,
That's so
assess.
fair.
Well, for me, it's all about assessment. Assess the risks you can take on.
Yeah.
And am I willing? If what happens, the consequences, can I bear those consequences? If you say no, then please don't do it.
Yeah.
It's simple. Don't do it. It's the same thing like with speeding. Let's say we're driving now. Okay, the road is 15 miles an hour. You want bet 120 law. If they give you
I feel like
ticket,
this is pun, but we
no,
move.
no, no. If they give you no, but if they give you a ticket, you know that okay, fine. You accept that risk that yes, you did the 120 in the 50-mile zone. You get a ticket. You can't say, oh no, I did not. No, 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 no. So the same thing with your faith. Assess your faith.
Yeah.
How strong is my faith right now? Okay, these are the things that I need to avoid to ensure that as I'm building my foundation, it doesn't start getting eroded away.
Erosion. Exactly.
Doesn't get started getting eroded away.
Well, I've got a small little compliment for you. Okay. Don't let it inflate your head. We have Habby from Edmonton that has said, Dotun, you are really talking at Pastor Moses. You've learned from the best. I am impressed. But yeah, no, you're dropping some gems here. I can't lie. What I would say as well, obviously we do need to wrap it up because time is going. But one of the things that I do want to obviously just put out there to everyone is, regardless of what aspect of your life you feel like you are currently needing to lay a foundation for, the biggest and the best foundation you can have is Christ. Like,
true.
Anything that you do, if you commit it into God's hands, you can't fail. It's either he's going to tell you, bruh, that ain't the way to go, and he's going to steer you into what is according to his will, or he's going to bless it. Things that are like beyond your own measures and beyond your own strength. Things that you probably didn't even think you were capable of doing. But every time you set out to do something, pray. You set out to start a new business venture, pray. You set out to, pursue someone, pray. You set out to literally, you're hitting trials and tribulations in your faith. Pray. It's not a time to run from God. It's not a time to shy away from his presence or anything, because that's one person that's not going to steer you wrong, and he's not even a person. That's all. That is your father. He's not going to steer you wrong. He's going to put you where you need to be. He's going to give you the answers. The Bible, the answers to everything in life is stated in that Bible. It's just how you study it, how you learn, and what you take from it. And yeah, I mean, it's not easy. I can't turn around and say I know the Bible from front to back, and I probably have
Genesis, Revelations.
I mean, I mean every single passage.
I know. I get you.
But what I would say is literally, I think, just try it out. If you're yet to explore what it's like to set a foundation with God when you set out to do something, try it out. I can guarantee you it will work. Like I'll slap money on that. Like I'll put money down and tell you it's gonna work. Like that's just literally it. But it's never easy. Like Dotun said, you have to know your strength. You have to understand sometimes as well that it isn't even by your strength, it's by God's strength. But also it is how you get there, how you spend time, how you invest in your relationship with God, how you invest in your prayers and what it is you want to do, and set aside time and be open to like just have a
one-on-one.
Try have a one-on-one, but also be open to receive. If God literally tells you no, Dotun, no, don't do it, no.
But then it's also like in that investing your time with God and stuff like that. It's like I remember listening to a message a while back about tightening your time as well. That you need to tighten your time. You get 24 hours in a day. Okay, how much of that time did you give to God? How much do you have like in your phone? You can all set up like daily messages or daily readings to you. Like every morning, I get open heaven for my mother constantly. Every morning.
Oh,
without
that sounds
fail.
Familiar. That sounds familiar.
So it's how much time do you invest?
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, nothing. There's a saying that says that when anything that is worth doing, you give it your time. That you're committed to, you give it your time.
Exactly.
Yeah, even showing up to church again, it's your time. You show the effort. That yes, I want to be here.
Yeah.
I want to serve. Get involved.
It is.
What else to say?
But yeah, I mean, We have Sister Chioma, who has said, amazing talk. This is so wonderful. Thanks for this talk. We need a part 2.
No.
We need a part 2.
No.
Guys, to get Dotun to do a live, you do not
No.
understand. But we thank God. I pray that
God.
God will replenish your pockets
Amen.
and bless you 1,000-folds for being here tonight. I know that it was a sacrifice for you coming down. It was a lot. But we are glad that we had you here.
Thank you very much for having me.
And thank you for all those who have tuned in. I hope that you've actually learnt something today. I hope that this message isn't in vain. And even if it has touched one of you, then our mission here today is complete. Until next time, please, please, please do listen out and keep an eye out for more Let's Talk About It content that will be coming your way.
Like this YouTuber said, like, comment, and subscribe. No?
Wow. Yeah.
Share.
Share. Comment, subscribe, share, all of that. Message, let us know how it went, what you think, your takings from it, all of that. But yeah, I wish you all a blessed evening and an amazing weekend in advance.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Bye-bye.